Hi guys, it's Lucky Hal. Wait. Hi guys, it's Lucky Hal, your favourite sword swallower, and I am finally filming a tattoo tour video for you all. So I haven't made a tattoo tour video for a long time. I've been kind of putting it off because usually you're supposed to go chronologically from first tattoo, second tattoo, da 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 da. However, I have so many tattoos and some of my first ones have been covered up, and I went like all over my body and now I'm quite covered, so it would be really hard to film. So I've decided to show you my first ever tattoo, and then I'm just going to go in body parts because it's going to be easier. So my first ever tattoo was on the back of my neck, and it's actually being covered up by this grenade. You can maybe see little bits of it, and I got it when I was 18, and it was a little witchy Celtic-y design I found in the back of a witch book because I loved witchy stuff, and I covered it up when I was about 21 or 22 with the grenade. My black arm. So I'm going to do a video just on the black arm because it's the tattoo that people ask the most about and have the biggest reaction to, which I find surprising, but it's a really hot topic with people, this tattoo, so I'll do a separate video. Yes, there are other tattoos underneath the black. I did put the black on top of things, and I will explain all what was under there and my reasons for it. I absolutely loved the black. I had initially started to change the other work, but I realized pretty soon that I wanted to do it black eventually anyway, and I really preferred solid black. And as soon as I did that forearm, I was just so happy and thinking, why didn't I do this years ago? I love the change to my body. I love the change in energy. It's definitely one of my favorite tattoos. It's only had one blast. It needs another session or two. Actually surprising that it's only had one session. It's really, really solid. My armpit tattoo, yes, it was very painful to get. There's no meaning behind it. I just wanted something pretty and like muted because it's my armpit. Oh, it's really blurry. Oh, shit. So my left arm is a mix of a lot of different work by a lot of different artists. Some of the artists I don't even remember their name. So I'm just going to give you kind of the best rundown I can for all the pieces. Alright, so Cherry's ex-boyfriend years ago, Rockabilly Girl. Angelique, pin-up, adaption, friend did it. Martini glass, why not? It's cute. What else we got here? The diamond with bling. I just thought that would be cute. The Trailer Park Queen. I used to collect vintage cigarette tins and I really loved her, so I got her tattooed. This dagger. This maybe has some meaning. It has lies in the little area. Whoop, cameraman. And that's just because people are not to be trusted. Spiderweb, I thought that would be a really dope addition to an old school sleeve, and it's really solid work. Poison bottle kind of represents the poisons that we put into ourselves. And then I got a mum and a dad tattoo, just, you know, little tributes there. The gun is a 50 caliber Desert Eagle. It was my favorite gun when I first got into shooting guns at the range. And then there's a little panther behind there, just a gap filler. And then FTW. I've actually got a few of these tattooed on me. It's like an old school punk reference and kind of words to live by. Okay, so hand tattoos. On my right hand, I have this blue opium poppy, and I deliberately made it a little obscure so it wasn't instantly recognizable because it's a little bit personal. So the opium poppy represents a couple of things to me, and the reason it's blue is because it has to do with depression and feeling blue, into the blue, bleed me an ocean, which is a song from Acid Bath. All these things kind of have a very strong meaning for this beautiful puppy. On my left hand, I have just a girl. There's no meaning behind her. She's just a cute dead spider girl who I thought would look nice. On my knuckles I have baby doll, and I used to call girls that I was trying to hit on baby doll, and I thought it was cute. I was into rockabilly stuff. On the ends of my fingers I have a bunch of symbols. I've got sulfur, Luna, the feminine, and then a broken heart. And on my left hand I have another FTW. Again, old school punk reference. I'm laughing in the video because I have a few of these. On my thumbs I have an R&R, and this is like R&R, like rest and relaxation, but the actual original meaning of R&R was rest and rigor mortis, which I thought was just hella dark. On my right hand I have another meaningful tattoo, probably the most meaningful that I have. It's Finnish text and it reads Ei ikinä enää, and it translates to never again. And my ex-husband and who's one of my best friends has that in English tattooed on his other hand, and this to me means that never again am I going to be alone or without family, because I have my Finnish family, which is my ex-husband and his mom and sister and everything, and never again am I going to be that girl that I was when I was young after my parents died, because it was a really hard time. And so yeah, that's my hand tattoos. I don't have my palms tattooed yet. Okay, fun setup for this next shot. Yeah, oh, hello cameraman, stay focused. Alright, chest tattoos. I have a lot of chest tattoos. And the first one I got was this zombie one, bottoms up. And this was a purely aesthetic tattoo. I wanted a zombie themed chest tattoo, and I thought it would be really funny if it said bottoms up and her bottom was in the martini glass, like bottoms up. No one gets it, I don't care, I love it, and I love the colours. And then I got these teeth on my collarbone, and that was just something to fill the space that would look really cool, and they do. To fill in some space on my chest, I wanted to get something feminine and pretty but kind of still strong, so I got some deer horns or ornament horns, I don't know what you'd call them. Okay, now one of my most important tattoos, I guess. I never ever thought I would get the front of my throat tattooed. Why am I fucking around there? Stop it, Lucky. I never thought I'd get the front of my throat tattooed. I always thought I'd leave it blank, but once I discovered I could swallow swords, it was just like, this is meant to go there. I have to say, it wasn't the most painful tattoo I've ever gotten. It was relatively easy, surprisingly, I think, because he was being really gentle so he didn't fuck it up. The area is really difficult to tattoo. On the right side of my neck is the next tattoo I got on my neck after my throat, and it's a bug / beetle, really in Becca's style. I've loved her style for so long, and I just wanted to get something feminine but muted, because I knew on the other side I was going to get something full color and really vibrant, and because this is the side I get photographed on mainly, so yeah, no meaning, just pure aesthetic. On the back of my neck, whoop, here we go, I filled in the space between the grenade and the other tattoos with a super classic love and hate text. And now onto the other end of my body, my feet. This meat cleaver was the first addition to my horror leg, and the pumpkin was kind of a part of a cover-up that I did in London. Yes, these are painful. And the shittiest tattoo I own that I really have to cover up soon, but just not talk about that. Yeah, we're not talking about that. But yeah, here's my jack-o'-lantern and my cute feet. Yay! My vulture on the back of my left leg. Oh, hello cameraman, focus, focus. The vulture on the back of my left thigh was one of my first additions to my leg. Unfortunately, this guy Max, who's been mentioned a few times, no longer tattoos at all. He also did these killer bees on my knees. This is the Wu-Tang tattoo. And then I have my shit cupcake. Sometimes an apprentice needs to practice and he draws you a normal cupcake and you get angry and tell him to draw a shit one. And then chopped off fingers, same deal, apprentice. Basically, the apprentices needed to practice and I let them practice on me. The coffin on the front of my left shin is another really important and meaningful tattoo because it was the first tattoo I got with Finnish language in it, and moving to Finland and living there for so long changed my life and me in so many ways. It reads Kyllä se siitä, and this translates to it will be okay, because at the end of the day we're all going to the same end and you can't sweat the small stuff. kind of like a dark way of saying appreciate life. Down here is an apprentice needed to practice, so I got a little bat filler. Filler is a small tattoo you put in an empty space to kind of fill the area. Be careful with fillers because sometimes you rush, and like this spiderweb on my knee, you then regret it, and I'm gonna cover up this spiderweb with something bigger and better. And coming in on one of the topmost 3 painful tattoos I've ever had. Super dope, graphic, all-seeing eye. It was 4.5, 5 hours of hell. I thought I was gonna puke, but I'm so proud of it because I sat through it, and I'd wanted a tattoo from this artist for so many years, and he was guest spotting at my husband's shop, so I just kind of sucked it up and did it. But it was hard, guys. Okay, here are some really small but really meaningful tattoos. This burning church was done at a little tattoo party with me and my friends, and we all got similar tattoos. I love the aesthetic, but also I'm really against religion, so that has meaning. At the same time, I decided to tattoo myself for the first time, and this is my ex-girlfriend slash best friend slash soulmate slash #1 in the world's name inside a love heart with a little pussy. And that's very important because she has my name tattooed on her. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I love you, Carla. This little circus moment on the front of my thigh is kind of unfinished. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure it out one day. I said to Tommy I wanted a traditional sword swallower circus girl. The first thing he said was like, she should have armpit hair, and I was like, well, not that traditional. Okay guys, next is one of my favorite tattoos with the coolest story behind them at all, and yes, my knees really say fuck off. So the story behind this, I was hanging out at home just before summer, and I was saying to my husband, like, it's so frustrating when summer hits. As soon as there's a little bit of flesh showing, there's always some creepy guys that are trying to like creep their eyes up your skirt to look at more of you. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if you had like fuck off tattooed above your knees so they just got stopped in their tracks? And it was like, holy shit, that's a great idea. And a week later I got them tattooed. It was really spontaneous. One of my favorite tattoos. I have to say that seeing someone staring at my legs in a creepy way and seeing the recognition in their brain that they just got told to fuck off by my knees, it never gets old. That's my left leg. The first leg I started tattooing a lot, and it's all a lot of old school and different things, and I love it. It's so me. Okay, my horror portrait leg. I know I've said it like 5 times. This is my favorite tattoo, but this is like my favorite body part. So it all started with the Louis from Interview with a Vampire. I've always been a huge obsession with vampires, and when I got him, it was like I got my first real tattoo. I don't know, it was a very big deal for me, and it definitely sparked a love for portraits, especially color portraits, which are not so easy to pull off perfectly. Second portrait I added was Regan from The Exorcist. It's one of my favorite books that I've ever read, and obviously the movie is a classic. And I love that she's in a different pose than you normally see of portraits of her for tattoos. She looks so cute and evil. Fuck me, Jesus. The next portrait I got was Jason. Jason often looks very bland in a tattoo, but Lassie is fucking amazing, and he looks so good, and the position at the bottom of the leg is amazing. Alright, we're getting an extreme close-up here of here's Johnny. Jack from The Shining was really important, not only because it's such a classic horror portrait it needed to go on the leg, but you'll see soon above that portrait on the back of my thighs I've got red rum tattooed in giant letters that you can only read in the mirror, so I needed him there. And I was really lucky to find a portrait artist who hasn't done him before, because he's been done so often, portrait artists don't really want to do him when they've done him so much. The next portrait I got was, whoa, not there, getting warmer, Bela Lugosi. For those of you who don't know who Bela Lugosi was, he was an actor who was the original Dracula, and he was the best Dracula ever. This was like the longest tattoo I've ever taken, but the end result is so worth it, and he just looks amazing. Okay, remember how I said I had red rum tattooed above Jack Nicholson? Well, this is the red rum tattoo on the back of my thighs. In the top 3 of the most painful tattoos I've ever had. This was horrific. It felt like I was getting stabbed in the bottom of my butt cheeks. It was bad. And if you're having trouble reading it, that's because it's meant to be seen in the mirror. Red rum from The Shining, just such a classic horror thing. I'm such a huge horror lover if you haven't noticed, and that's the meaning behind the horror leg. The next portrait I got was Frankenstein. He's a classic, he needed to be there, and I just need to get his bride to complete him. And Ash, I got him just a couple of months ago. I actually have a video on my YouTube of the whole process. If you subscribe to me, you will have seen it. He looks amazing, so bloody, so crazy, one of my fucking favorites. A few days later, I had the chance to get tattooed by JP Vickman again. I've been waiting for years, about 5 years, to get another piece by him. He was at the convention, so I took the opportunity, and Psycho, it's a classic. And that's my horror leg. Yes, the goal in the end is to cover the entire leg with portraits and filler so that there is no skin showing, like in between all those that are next to each other. And those are my leg tattoos. These are some of my favorite tattoos because I got them later on in life, so I had better tattoo taste and knowledge, which definitely helps. Okay guys, get ready for some under boobage because stomach tattoos. So first, the original footage we filmed, which was Sans, the new one. My sugar skull, up there with the 3 most painful tattoos. I may have said that more than 3 times though. Anyway, this was pretty horrific. I got it done in 2 sessions and I was sweating. And a couple of weeks ago, I refilmed this because I have this amazing new piece and I really wanted to include it in this video. So this is actually a cover-up. Down on my stomach, I had some spiders and they went all the way down onto my lady parts. You can probably see here under the flower, there's some black we need to go over once more to complete the cover-up. The bird is an egret bird, and we chose this bird simply because it's so elegant and so beautiful, and it has ties to Japanese traditional art. It's used a lot in Japanese art and it's really gorgeous. The flowers are peonies, which are Lorena's favorite flowers, and flowers always symbolize strength and femininity. So yeah, and then it goes down to a little leaf, but you don't get to see that. Only my friends do. And last but not least, you may have noticed pieces of a giant Japanese tattoo poking out here and there. So this is it in its entire form. It's actually a cover-up. You'll see soon there is a geisha girl in a green dress. Instead of just covering her up with something, we decided to do a massive piece of a dragon and a koi fish all around her to make it look like one cohesive tattoo. I still need to find an artist to do the finishing touches for her, but I'm so proud to wear some Japanese art, even if it's not totally traditional in color, because Japanese tattoos are so important in tattoo history, and it's just, they're classic for a reason. They're so beautiful. I especially love the koi and the water. It's my favorite. And yes, this whole thing fucking hurt. Oh, that was really stupid. Thanks for watching, guys. That's the tattoo tour. This was really hard to film because I have a lot of tattoos and sometimes I forget how many tattoos I have because I'm so used to them. Hashtag tattoos, hashtag girls with tattoos, hashtag ink, hashtag inked girls, hashtag tat, hashtag girls with tat, hashtag tatty bojangles.
The only problem is you move. So when you move, you go hashtag, hashtag,
hashtag,